This is the Gore Club Podcast with Steve Vessel, Derek Sturgeon, and Death Metal Dave.
How they get it? Get that motherfucker, dude. Why are you letting it live? What are you, one of those?
Just you one of those?
Yeah, just take it outside. I'm like,
I had one
smashed
the
that
other day.
fucker.
It was on the pillow as I laid down. It was like, oh, wonderful. That's what I'm looking for. Thanks.
That's how your life ends.
Cuddle
bug.
together.
Yeah. Smashed on a table by a bunch of fucking nerds.
I'll fucking kill them all. Fucking ladybugs. Fuck them.
You can't put that shit online anymore. You're like, oh, take it outside. I'm like, I ate that fucker.
I have a rule, and I explain it to them as I'm about to kill them. I'm like, look, we have a system. You can do whatever you want outside, but don't come in the house.
As soon as you come inside.
And they come inside, you're gonna die.
It's
It's not my fault. Like,
It's trespassing. That's law.
yeah, we had a system. Stay outside, eat all the other bugs. Spiders, come on, that's your job.
Yeah, yeah. I do have a
But when
massive.
you come inside, you cross the line.
When Bryan was pulling up, I have this massive fucking web. It goes from the yard to the roof gutter line, and it's still there. Like he just rebuilt it. It's so fucking huge.
I'd rip it down.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, they'll just rebuild it every day.
He does. It falls apart
He's
every day.
determined.
And then
asshole spider would do that like right in front of my door every day.
that was one thing I noticed from you is when you're talking to me, make sure you talk across the microphone.
I'm sorry. I'll talk across.
That's it. Yeah.
I just won't talk to Steve tonight. I'll just stare at Derek the whole time.
Sometimes I feel like not talking to
About
Steve.
breaking.
I
Just
don't want to talk to
constant
myself. Fuck you guys.
It's the only reason you bring people in.
I like
these
it that
shows.
Turok the Troll is on the front of that.
I
it's
can't imagine the
interesting.
people
I
that
didn't
do
know they
like
put this
solo
out.
shows.
Yeah.
I know it's on
What the
YouTube.
hell?
Yeah, that's
like,
what I was
I
telling
only
him.
knew one guy that was like really good at it, but like I
There was a
can't
DVD,
imagine,
like
just
I guess it was
talking and
just
talking
like-
and
yammering
talking.
yourself for hours on it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm past that point. Thanks.
The reason that Turok is on there is because the Weekend of Horror, Fangore's Weekend of Horror, John Buechler was a guest.
Oh.
And that movie had just come out, so it was a big deal.
That movie scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I've already told that story.
It did nothing for me.
Oh, we're recording.
We are
Whoa.
recording.
A shot.
Well, welcome. Derek's time to do a shot. Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm Steve Vessel.
Death Metal Dave.
Derek.
Yeah, and we have a special guest this week from the Movie Meltdown podcast, Bryan Renfro.
How's it going? What's
Yay.
up? Is usually what I tell people at this point. If I remember to start our show.
Oh, man. Tell us a little bit about Movie Meltdown and yourself if you want to.
I don't have anything useful myself. That's why I've focused everything on the show at this point. I don't do anything, but the show takes a lot of work, so I do that. So
How long have you been around?
the show,
Yeah. I know.
not me.
How many years old are you?
Thousands of years for me.
Yeah.
I'm the undead. But the show started the end of 2008.
Yeah, I knew it was a long
It's a long
time. Yeah.
damn time ago. Let me tell you. So, yeah, it's exhausting. I have to say. At this point,
We're learning that.
it's exhausting. But it is one of those. If it's you come to find out, if it's in your blood, you keep coming back. So. I like the conversations. I like the interaction with people. That's hard to get these days. But in general, I've come to, as much as I'm antisocial the rest of my life, this is the only time it works. I hit record and it's as functional as I ever get. So I like that aspect of it. Sound issues and editing, and I was already complaining that when I got here today. So
Not about
that
us.
never
Not about
goes away.
ours, about his.
Yeah, but mine.
We've got ours figured
Wait till you
out.
listen to ours. Okay. Then you'd be like,
Then
fuck these
I'll
guys.
really lay in. But no, my own constantly fighting with sound issues, and it's just that never goes away. So it's but yeah, the geeky aspect that's fun. The bonding with your friends, talking over movies. That's what we do.
Yeah. I've been on there, twice, 3 times? I can't remember.
There's been we'll get to the other one of them. We were in the middle of a convention.
Yeah.
Then we went. Then my favorite was we got together and 2 dudes creepily talking in the park after dark most of the time.
Yeah.
That was a good one actually because we dug into Halloween memories. So that was
yeah,
fun.
that was. God damn.
That was fun. Yeah,
It was
but
2 years ago, I think.
I think so.
Okay.
Something like that. But yeah, it all becomes a big blur after a while.
Yeah. Well, speaking of conventions, this episode is going to be kind of a free-flowing convention stories, convention nightmares. We all have great stories. We've all
Some better than the others.
Oh my God! Well, speaking of I barely remember the time you're talking about when we talked in the hallway of a convention. Because back then I was shit faced at every convention.
I
I
assumed it at all times. Really,
Fuck you, man.
It's true.
when I got here tonight, he was just throwing back.
Oh my God! Well, I've been clean and sober. Well, I've been sober. Well, no, I just haven't drank in a while.
I don't
been a
shower,
couple of
but
years.
you know I'm sober.
Yeah. Well,
That went,
I'm going to try to be specific, but not too specific.
that went from I've been clean and sober. Well, no, I've been sober to I just haven't drank in a while.
Well, you gotta be.
It's been 4 hours.
I don't
all right?
drink alcohol. Everything else is you never know.
That explains the heroin when I got here.
God damn it, dude. The rock
Never
keeps
know.
me alive, baby.
Well, speaking of conventions, we have to go back. Let's
We're
start
doing some history.
a little history.
Dave's got some
lesson.
history for us.
So I did some research. So the first science, because horror conventions, the modern convention is not the same as it used to be.
I thought you were going to say sciencey.
Well,
That just
it's not
negates
sciencey.
science.
There's a lot of science nerds.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But
a Joss Whedon word.
the first convention that I found was the PhilCon, which is the Philadelphia Science Convention.
Oh.
Man, if it
Yeah,
was
it was
all
19
about Phil Collins, that
Phil
would be so awesome.
in the 20s or
In
when
36.
Okay.
Even more impressive if it was all about Phil Collins.
Like they were the prophecy
Yeah,
of Phil Collins.
The man will come. We just have to wait.
And
So
it apparently
studios.
still goes on today.
What year was it?
1936.
1936.
And there was
Jesus
nine
fuck.
people. There were 9 people there.
God, I would love to go to a sci-fi convention before Star Trek was invented.
You and 8 other people.
Yeah, it would just be
Do
you
you like
and a
Robert
few other people.
Heinlein?
Who the fuck was at the very first one? 9 people. It better be awesome.
It doesn't really give me a
not gonna know
whole
who
lot
those
of
people are.
information.
Bunch of dead people.
Well, yeah, that's
exactly.
true.
Special guest was Heather Shaw. I don't
You
know.
know,
I
Heather
have
Shaw.
no
Heather
clue.
Shaw.
I should have looked it up, but I didn't get
That's also back when like the future was the year 2000.
Oh, yeah.
still is in my mind.
World of
All
Tomorrow.
that sci-fi shit. It's like the year's 1985.
That's good.
They're like, I wonder what that's gonna be like. Well, lots of drugs,
Yep, here we are. We're in the middle of Blade Runner right now.
drugs and
so.
hair metal. What do you want?
Well, moving on from that.
Oh, you can't just segue from that. That
Well,
was awesome.
in 1939, there was the World Science Fiction Convention, the first one.
Where was that at?
WorldCon. That was in New York.
So somebody went to PhilCon and was like, I'm gonna fucking do this, but bigger.
A bit bigger, yeah. In a bigger city.
There's 12 people. This one is.
Well, no, this one was a lot bigger. I mean, they had like authors like Isaac Asimov was there, Ray Bradbury.
It's legit.
So this was
all this
a little
bullshit.
bit.
That's a real nerd convention.
Yeah.
if
so
I knew how to read, that would be so impressive.
I know. Oh, we don't. We've already established. Some of us at the table don't read.
some of us at the table definitely don't, Derek. And
The back of the movie box, that's as far as I know.
Oh no, it helps every time.
you can go down through the list. We're not going to go through all of them, but you get like 3 other conventions in the 40s, but really in the 50s and the 60s are where conventions started to change into sort of what they are now.
Sort of.
Sort
They've
of.
come a long way in the last 10 years.
Right. Well, you've got like comic book conventions. Those were huge getting in through the 60s. And that's where stuff like, look at my note here. There was a New York Comic Con in 1964. When you get up to the 70s.
In New York, where was that one at? Do you remember it all?
New York Comic Con.
New York Comic Con. I think
Yeah,
it was
that's
in
right.
Jersey.
Okay. Well, because sometimes, yeah.
New York Comic Con.
I'm seeing if Dave was on his toes this
Orlando,
week.
Florida.
And we're not talking about like
Chicago
Wizard.
Comic Con. What was that?
We're not
Was that
talking about
Illinois?
Wizard
Cincinnati.
World. We're not
Right.
talking about Wizard World. We're talking
It's
about
I
a
know.
different
Just fucking.
Comic Con.
I'm just fucking with you, Dave.
But
You're on top of it, baby.
And then in the 70s, you got San Diego Comic Con started.
That's California.
Yeah, and
Oh, cool.
Geography.
Steve's really good with geography.
Yeah, I didn't know this was a learning show, did you?
Oh,
The more you know, kids.
Mapacon. Gotcha.
We're trying to get on PBS, actually.
Oh yeah, we have to cut the
Peabody
everything we
Award
bleep.
winners.
It must be one big beep because you can't hear anything we say because fuck.
And then there were a lot of also through the 60s, Derek's favorite Star Trek conventions.
Motherfuckers.
There were several major ones.
I could go back in time, just fucking murder them, just end it there.
Well,
And it all started with the sci-fi nerds.
Were
Okay?
there terrorists in the 60s?
I'm sure there were.
Derek's gonna go back in time. It's Looper, and it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be just him fucking shotgunning the entire cast of Star Trek.
Yeah.
Nuclear Vessel, this motherfucker.
Fuck them. They don't support me.
So we go from there.
Moving on
And-
from there.
a company called Creation Entertainment, which they do a lot of.
Are those fuck faces with Vampire Diaries and
Yes,
all those like
those are the
soccer
people.
bomb shows?
They're the ones.
Supernatural.
They're the ones that got the Star Trek conventions rolling.
Of course they fucking did.
And they
They're
were
my enemy.
They were branching out. They were trying something different instead of just the comic.
They were
books.
doing this in the 70s?
They were doing this in the 70s. That's when they started doing it.
See,
Time
I just
machine.
learned that myself. I thought it was like the part of the Fanico and Starlug people, but it's not. Dave corrected me before you even started the show.
Creation Entertainment were the ones that own those conventions. And if you move forward in time, so we can talk about horror conventions, because we know about comic conventions, we know what those are all about, but we're here to talk about the horror conventions. So we get to
But if it wasn't for
19.
the sci-fi ones, we wouldn't have the horror ones because they learned it's like a lineage, baby.
Definitely the case.
Well, I mean, there were, but I mean, what are you going to talk about? We want to talk about Star Trek more, Derek?
Well, you skipped sports conventions.
Oh, I didn't know there
I'm
was.
pretty
those.
sure that's where it all got probably stolen from.
Well, I mean, possibly. I mean, it
It was
all-
probably like 1920s. You could probably jerk off Babe Ruth for $20.
Fucking A. Wait,
well, I mean, if you go back to the first one, the reason why they decided to have it where they had it was because that's where the Republican National Convention was and the Democratic National Convention. So
That sounds awful.
conventions,
Yeah, let's not go to those.
Yeah.
sounds really fucking boring.
yeah, those are awful. You probably get
This
scammed
is
more
like
than
Ty
you
Cobb
would
and fucking Babe Ruth.
Well,
Not
Nashville.
fucking Babe Ruth, but that can make it interesting.
What's
2
your
years
price
ago,
point?
Nashville had Politicon. Did you see that?
How much those cost?
So that was crazy. And
Politicon?
They brought in all these like talking heads from like Fox News and CNN and all that shit to do a convention in Nashville.
Oh man, they should have burned that place to the
And
fucking
they were charging
ground.
for like autographs and doing panels and everything
You
like
could have
that.
wiped out so many problems.
Yeah, right there. Just like we could have with that Star Trek gimmick in the 70s. You think about it, one bomb. You take out a lot of Star Trekkers, so they're not impregnating. They probably weren't getting anybody pregnant anyway.
Yeah, I
come
don't
to
think
of
that's
it.
going to make it.
So there's that.
Oh
Your
man.
theory is flawed here,
At
sir.
the very least, I'll wipe out Creation Entertainment. and
We
there's
wouldn't have
There's no
Moontrap.
supernatural fucking
God.
conventions. There's no Vampire Diary conventions.
And there's also no
There's no-
Fangoria Weekend of Horrors.
Is that what Creation does too?
They were
That's
the
ama-
ones.
Oh, that's
they
kinda
were
crazy.
the ones that made that happen.
Fuck them.
Don't listen to Derek.
Sometimes glass half full, you know?
And that's the first
Somebody
horror
else would've did
convention that I could find. That's the
At
first one
Fangoria?
that I could find.
Well, that's the first one I remember even hearing about from because it's I bought Fangoria every
the
fucking
one,
month. And I picked up this this VHS of it, and I was like, my first experience was like, I want to go there. And that was the thing about conventions when I was a kid is that you couldn't go to them because, at least not me, living in Middle America, it's like California or New York.
I didn't hear about them really until I was about 15, so that would have been 2001.
Right. Well, they were just starting,
And they were always the
Getting good.
small ones. We had
They were starting
Wonderfest.
here, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Wonderfest has been here for like 600 years.
Wonderfest started in 91.
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
91, because that was the first one I've ever went to. And I was just like, what the fuck's all this plastic shit?
Do you have anything on Wonderfest, or should we expound upon that?
We will expand upon that when we get to it. So
Oh, I like
first
that,
off,
Dave.
let's
Dave's
talk-
got the structure going on. Hell yeah.
So the first thing, we can talk about the Fangoria's Weekend of Horror.
Oh, it's a landmark.
You have the VHS on the table. Show everybody at home. Steve, did you show them already?
I'm going to do it again.
Look at that. We've got
If you're watching this on YouTube.
Freddy Krueger and
You could actually turn this off and look that up on YouTube too.
See, I didn't know that until Dave told me that earlier.
yeah, that is on.
I actually pulled out the VHS and
We
watched it.
fucking talked about it like
Did
3
we?
weeks ago. It was literally a whole
But
thing.
you also remember I have no memory when it comes to things that matter in the real world.
Conversation about watching it on the YouTube.
I didn't. I watched it in my VHS.
We had to talk about it.
Okay.
Now I'm upset.
It's okay. You won't remember later.
Yeah.
See?
Because I was
I'm
like,
the old guy.
I was like, hey, you can just type in convention shit on YouTube and it shows videos, and you're like, yeah, what what's Fangoria Weekend is a horror? You actually told me that.
Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, that's cool.
These are the things that make this
fun.
great because I don't remember everything.
so
What I
Every
say.
episode's a whole new show.
Oh my God. It's like,
It's like fucking Rick
it's like a
James.
fish. Rick
So as far as this convention goes, it's hard to find a guest list.
It's right here on the cover.
He's going to hit me with the VHS.
Freddy Krueger. There's a poorly drawn Elvira. There's a little troll guy, Troll 2. There's that dude you like,
It's Turok from the first one.
Turok.
Turok the Troll.
Not the dinosaur hunter.
Not the
Fucking
dinosaur.
Dinosaur Hunter.
Yeah.
myself, but-
Man. Oh, yeah, it's right here. It says Robert Englund, star Freddy Krueger. Star as Freddy Krueger in Nightmare on Elm Street. Not star of
case
Freddy
you didn't
Krueger.
know.
Rick Baker. Toby Hooper. That's it. Three
Well,
people.
also, I believe on that VHS, it's several different conventions.
Is it?
It's not all the same
greatest, yeah.
convention.
No. That is that is only one convention. I
I
remember.
thought that was several.
No, it was a big deal.
I'm
They,
wrong.
they had a little film company come in and record the entire event, and it was a weekend. So
I've
It
never in
seems
my
like a
life
lot.
have been to a convention and been like, man, I want to go home and fucking watch this.
Well, that's funny because I've got a
That's
Wonderfest
really nice.
99 up there on VHS that I recorded.
I bet Steve would like to have some of those from the mid 2000s so he can remember what happened.
Fuck off.
Well, I can tell him.
Yeah.
Or you can look at pictures of me because every time I met a celeb and gave him the camera,
Oh, no.
it's a fucking blurry picture.
I knew you were going to say that.
It's just like I paid $20 for Sasquatch pictures over and over again.
Sasquatch is
Oh, he's not
awesome.
lying. He's not
Yeah,
lying.
fucking Roger Corman's never gonna do another show in his whole life, which is very limited now
Yeah.
anyway. At the one show I'm meeting, man, I'm like, here, take the picture, and I got like triple eyes because I guess he's got fucking J Fox hand or whatever the fuck
I've
he's
got
doing
drunken
here.
fingers.
I'm so mad. It's like my one picture with him, and then I had the other. It's a Gore Club thing because Jake, the Gore Club founder,
Yeah.
he's got my Romero picture, and that looks like shit. It's fucking blurry. Or it's like dudes that were born in like the 1950s can't take pictures.
Yeah. No, that's not true. One time I gave a camera to my ex-girlfriend and she was young. Okay, damn it. Hell, I was in my 30s. And it was Corey Haim. And fucking it looked like shit. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
real
well,
So young
they'll be
people's
back.
hand.
Don't worry.
Young people's,
Oh,
right?
Damn it.
Yeah.
Well, now it's different because now you take the picture on your fucking cell phone and then you look at it and you're like, oh, that's not good. But back then it was like you're trying to
the
hurry.
digital. Yeah.
And then like you guys were always the ones that if you handed you guys some kind of technology, you're like, what is he?
And they used to be hardcore about it too, because they'd be like, you get like one shot.
One
now
shot.
they know it's such a. They're just
Yeah.
like, take 6 of them. Just
Yeah.
hold it down. It's
if
fine.
you,
Like,
yeah. If you're not paying
if you're
for
paying for them, yeah, they don't care. They're
Well,
going
yeah.
to take as many as you
Well,
want.
if you're paying for him, sometimes like I met Billy Boyd and he took like seriously like 40 pictures with my phone, just selfies. It's like a
that's-
story.
That's awesome.
I mean,
like
it's just
that.
like, fuck it, you're paying for it. Let's
That's
get a
what it
lot
should
of
be, yeah.
selfies.
It's probably he's trying to add to his quota for the weekend. He's probably like, I took 42 pictures that weekend.
Pay me.
Pay me. One's with the one dude.
Per shot.
But that's about when we get to the conventions that we sort of know, because conventions, you know, in the 70s and the 60s were going to be different. And when you get into the 80s, you get things like, you know, Dragon Con, which isn't a horror convention,
Oh, God,
but that's a huge.
It's an everything
It's
convention.
an everything
Yeah,
convention.
zero
It's-
nerds.
now it's evolved because it didn't used to be an everything. It was Dragon Con was like, you know, board games and
Yeah,
D&D
It's the
stuff.
nerd stuff.
I love gaming
Nerds.
cons, and there was not that many left. Like
Well, there-
strictly.
I mean, they take up like 4 hotels though. And their guest list is always insane, like A-listers and shit. But never seen a dragon there, not once.
I feel like they've even gotten away from the guest at this point because
Yeah,
they don't
it's just-
matter. Because it's like they're there for the experience.
You feel
and
like with
hanging
Game of
out.
Thrones, you
Yeah.
would have seen
Yeah,
at
it's
least one
almost like a
dragon.
party, giant party now.
But yeah, I think they don't even care about the guests these last
Well, how
few years because it's just it's such an it's an atmosphere. It's a party. Like
And how do you even keep up with the guests too? Because it's like they get like 200 or 300 people. Like when you look at the guest list, it's just everybody lists in alphabetical order. Not everybody even gets a picture with
Fuck
Dragon
no.
Con. It's too many fucking people.
You have to go to their IMDb page and be like, oh yeah, that guy.
Did Dragon Con come before
their
Wizard
banner
World?
says that.
I don't know. It's a good question.
Wizard World, I'll have to come back to
I
that.
feel like Wizard World's been
Wizard
pissing me
World-
off for a real long
I think
time.
Wizard World was before Dragon.
I've never been to a Wizard World. I haven't had a chance. No, man. Either it's a
No
weekend-
wizards. Fucking
They're
zero.
just fucking with the fuck.
Yeah.
No, I started going to conventions in, I think it was 96, 97.
It's probably Wonderfest, right?
No, it wasn't. It was a convention promoter called the Slanted Fedora. Do you remember that, Brian?
What was his name again?
No, that was just the name of the company.
Oh.
Yeah, the Slanted Fedora.
What type were they doing?
It was a sci-fi horror.
Sci-fi?
Yeah. It was a small convention right next to the hotel next to the airport. What was some of your all's first ones?
Wonderfest.
Mine was wonderful. I don't think I even, when I'm thinking back, I'm
What
like,
year?
even when, well, I might be on that videotape. Actually, I was looking at the list earlier and trying to go by guess. And was like, I was definitely there for that. So I think 99 was about getting the first time I went there.
That was the same for me.
Yeah. And I was
Okay.
trying to think back and I was like, I don't remember anything before that, really. Like,
Yeah.
even thinking about conventions or hearing about conventions in other cities. Like, I really, like, the first time somebody told me about what Wonderfest was, kind of blew my mind. I was like, wait, it's here? Like,
Right.
There's people you can buy stuff. Okay. And, like, I just kind of went there and wandered. It was like, what is this?
Oh, it was fucking amazing.
It was just such a new
said yours was-
experience.
Mine was also Wonderfest, like 2001. Same thing. It's like sensory overload when especially when you're a teenager walking
Yeah.
into that. Because, you know, Wonderfest is mostly those models and shit like that. And I'm not artsy, 0% artsy. But anytime I go to Wonderfest, about an hour into it, I'm like, I could fucking do that. And I come home with all these model kits and shit and paint, all this bullshit, and it just sets in the fucking closet. I've done that every 2 years for like 20 years now. But other than that, like I never had the need to meet celebrities. That wasn't anything that was ever on my mind of going to a show and meeting people. But I hung around a bunch of stoners that were way older than me. And they drove me to Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash. I don't know if it's the grand opening or the grand reopening.
Oh, the real one?
Yeah, the real one.
Holy shit.
So I rode with those dudes, and I was fairly young, not even old enough to drive at this point. And they had Kevin Smith, people from like the Clerks movies and shit, dude that played Randall, Dante, fucking Brian O'Harlan. I don't know why his name slipped fucking mine, and Jeff Anderson. But then they had Ben Affleck and Jason Lee there too, which was really cool. So like teenage me is like, oh, these guys.
Fuck yeah.
And then people there were talking about comic conventions and shit like
if
that.
you're a nerd,
So
mall rat.
it's just herd of nerds. And even then, like I remember standing outside there and I'm like, why the fuck do people do this? This sucks. So they're out there for like 2.5 hours to just get in.
Oh.
And then when I got in, I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. Like starstruck, fucking weird teenager. Right now I'm a cynical prick, but back then I was excited. Now if I walked in there, I'd be like, fucking 2.5 hours.
2.5
I want my
hours.
money
Fuck
back.
that. Well, we'd find a way in anyways.
Oh yeah, I would cut anyway. And, like if I would have knew what I know now, I'd be like, I'm walking in. I'm like, I'm security.
Yeah.
Which I've done at every show. Sorry, anybody that runs a convention that's listening to me, they're like, that motherfucker.
That motherfucker. Dave, what was yours?
Oh, it was Wonderfest.
Was it? What year was that? About 99?
Yeah, 99.
Okay.
We wandered past each other.
You're probably more likely. The thing I remember most is Bob Burns, man. Bob Burns, like his just his talk every Saturday, the Saturday night talk.
Yeah.
He would just bring some random artifact, some lost movie prop, and be like, "Hey, this was in Alien, or this was in." And if anybody doesn't know who Bob,
I was going
Burns
to say, yeah.
is,
Tell us. Not everybody knows that.
please look him up. Bob Burns. He was an actor in the 60s.
Well, in the
50s.
yeah, and in the 50s, he helped do special effects with Paul Blaisdell.
Yes.
One of my favorite movies, Invasion of the Saucer Man. He's
And,
actually his assistant on that film.
And he was in the real Ghostbusters in the ape suit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
He's a gorilla man.
Ghostbusters.
That's a big deal.
But anyways, he's a guy that's just been around studios for years, and he would always have like cool artifacts. He would bring stuff with him because what was it, Alien?
Well, he's an archivist.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like our generation's like Forrest J. Ackerman.
Yeah,
I could actually talk to him.
And it's the weird part with him is like now everything is such a collectible thing. They were just throwing away these sets and like all these things that he would be like, can I
elaborate
have
on
that? Like that's why his house became the museum it is, because they were just throwing stuff out behind the studio.
And that's where he got a lot of the
that's where
Alien
all that
stuff, because
stuff is,
every Halloween he would do production like for
Halloween,
for the people in his neighborhood. And one year it was Alien, and he got a lot of the stuff for it. And then Aliens came out and he took a lot of that stuff too. And they actually had to go back to him for Alien Resurrection
to use the Queen head
for the Queen head because he had it. And he would come and he'd bring all these like actual movie props. And I can't remember what year it was. It was around the time when Peter Jackson's King Kong came out. He had found the original armature used in the 30s King Kong movie, and he had brought
the Willis O'Brien one.
Yeah, and he brought it with him, and it was like the most amazing thing. He's like, "You want to hold it?"
Yeah, we all got our picture taken with that thing. It's heavy.
You lost me at Alien Resurrection. I don't believe anybody gave a fuck about that movie to go get that head. They would put like a fucking piece of plastic on a popsicle stick for that fucking movie.
Think about how much money they saved
Scary.
by him having. He's like, oh, I've got the head. He didn't have the body.
That's true. Yeah.
And they saved so much money, and then that's why if you see that movie, they only show the head of the Queen.
They just threw the body in a dumpster.
I don't know.
That fucking what about
I'm
that
sure
garbage
he has
man?
that story.
Yeah, people like quit their jobs because they find shit like that. And they're like,
I would hope somewhere there's a garbage man that's just retired off of
In
it.
Hollywood,
Like the early days of eBay, he just started putting stuff on there.
The thing like Dave just mentioned, like they just threw things away. They just tore down sets. They struck the sets. They didn't have time for them. They didn't have studios didn't give a fuck about the extra film.
No.
At the beginning. It doesn't matter. That's why it was such a big deal to find film vaults with like pieces of a movie that we all love, whatever movie it is. But that's the thing about Bob Burns, Forrest J. Ackerman. And they just held on to every little thing they could, every little magazine, every comic book, every Astonishing Tales thing they ever got a hold of. They collected that stuff and made their own museums. And that's what nerds do now, but they were doing it in the fucking 60s. And that's the thing. That's the great thing about Bob Burns. And it's fantastic that we were able to meet him, and he would bring his things all the way from California here to Louisville every year at the time. I mean, it seemed like it every fucking year he had something
He
different.
became a regular, yeah.
Yeah, he is.
That was
You
great.
see Bob and Kathy just walking down the hall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, they're actually in Peter Jackson's King Kong
Yeah, they are. When Kong is running rampant in the street, look for the
in New York.
in New York. Look for the old couple. It's like,
That's him.
the guy with the mustache, walrus mustache.
He looks like Wilford Brimley.
But that was one of our that's one of our local conventions, and it's not like for people listening that are just getting into conventions in the last like 10 years, it's nothing like a Horror Hound or Days of the Dead or Cinema Wasteland. It's nothing like that. It's a more intimate setting. You have like 4 or 5 guests. Frank Dietz shows up sometime.
Almost every every year, unless he's doing something.
Nick
But,
Cotero shows up.
Nick
that's where I first met him,
shows
yeah.
up a lot. But it's not like conventions that they are now. But you go, what's your favorite convention that you've been to?
Oh, it's always been Wonderfest.
Oh, my.
I have to keep
Wonderfest
saying
is just
that.
like a different category
And
for me.
but
Like it's such a different experience.
It's a weird thing. I mean, we've talked about it, I think, just either privately or maybe on this show before. It's a wholly different atmosphere from us going into a party atmosphere. Wonderfest is just for really nerds who like all the little intricacies of film and fantasy and horror.
Yeah, there's no party.
I mean, there are, but it's not like the parties that we're talking
yeah,
about.
it's a different.
Nobody's getting naked and getting hurt.
It's a
It's
party.
just old
like-
guys drinking.
Yeah, it's like an after work party.
I love it though.
Office party.
It's specific. It's also still the world's largest sci-fi horror modeling convention. Models, as in you put them together, like Derek was talking about, like,
Like
you
vinyl
glue them
kits.
together and
Yeah.
file all the pieces down and then paint them, and they have a huge, contest. It's like a family, and it's still my favorite.
It's so different. It is one of those that I will kind of like talking to people online. I will kind of pitch it to them, but only the right people. Like it's rare that I tell people about it, but if they're the kind of old school like sci-fi horror fan, I'm just like, actually, you might like this.
Do you like the production designer of this
Yeah,
one movie? He's going to be there. Like,
Do you
really?
want to see a random prop, sitting on a table? Like,
So,
it's,
is that your favorite, Brian?
Yeah, because
the ones
everything
that you
else,
go to.
like that's the thing. Everything else has become a big blur. Like everything else is similar enough, and like I go to so many
We joke
different
about
ones
that.
over the
it's
years.
thrown off the gray walls.
Yeah, it's like and half of them end up being in the same hotel, so it's like you can't tell the difference from one to this. But like Wonderfest is always its own thing. Like it's such a separate, removed experience that I don't know. That's the one that stands out for me.
Yeah, not me.
Derek, what's your
No, I
favorite?
get
It's
it.
all about the party.
Wonderfest is totally like my one day con. Like it's the
Yeah.
one that like I've taken so many friends there that don't go to other conventions, and everybody has a blast. But it's more of like for me like a go to 3 or 4 hours and go home.
Yeah.
I don't think that could be one that I would travel to and stay the whole weekend because. I mean, I don't know. Maybe the panels are kick ass if you're like super into all the special effects and shit like that.
And the
But
retro
like I
hosts.
said, no art skills. So after I see everything and I'm like, holy shit, that's all amazing. Take some pictures, waste some fucking money on shit I'm never gonna paint in my life. You're just ready to go home and meet like the 1 or 2 celebs there, which is cool. Yeah, like they always have like 4 or 5 celebs that you see at like the other horror conventions too. But every now and then they'll pull one that you don't see anywhere.
It's the first
The
time
more
I ever
obscure ones.
met George Romero.
Yeah. Well, especially now with the bigger conventions getting away from, your kind of B movie horror and moving on to like everybody has to be an A-lister to be a guest at some of these bigger shows. So the ones that were in like fucking the cast of Chud or whatever else, I just like to say Chud on the show.
But
They're not getting booked. Well, John Hurt's definitely not getting booked. He's fucking dead, asshole. But like,
How dare him?
oh, fuck him. That's a convention story right there. But my favorite is by far C2E2. Nothing touches it. And as much as I bitch about big shows and because these horror conventions are trying to be those, and they have no idea how to be it, so it's a clusterfuck. C2E2 is like a well-oiled fucking machine. 100,000 people show up, like a herd of fucking zombies, all controlled to go in there. Nothing crazy ever happens. The panels are fucking amazing. The guest list is crazy good. The price isn't crazy high. And you can be there for 3 fucking days and not see all of it. Which has happened to
C2E2 is a
me
big convention.
every time I've ever went. But they have like horror, pop culture, and for me, fucking pro wrestling.
Yeah.
And it's the best combination of things. So
yeah, that's something to talk about, is that the conventions have gotten so big that they really don't know how to take care of all the guests. I don't mean like the celebrities. I meant like us as patrons.
well, the
It's
Walking
not-
Dead boom happened.
Yes.
And we discussed that before, and just a little bit here and there, but it definitely impacted conventions.
Oh no, fucking fuck
God.
Like,
God.
I mean, you gotta think like, and I don't want to like target any particular convention, but most of these were in small like hotels and shit, drawing a couple thousand people. We were drinking bourbon with Norman Reedus in a hallway
Yeah.
a year before Walking Dead, and nobody gave a fuck about Norman Reedus. Everyone went to fuck the other guy from Boondock Saints.
guy,
Nobody
yeah.
cared about Norman Reedus. He was the fucking ugly one.
Yeah.
Like they went to fuck Powder. And, but then all of a sudden, Walking Dead happens, and gross crossbow hillbillies, the new sexy fucking thing, and there's a fucking line of soccer moms pushing their fucking dumb baby around. Go, I gotta meet Norman Reedus. Take a picture of my baby. Like,
Yeah.
no, that's fucking gross. That's how COVID started. Probably.
Oh my God.
I had that same experience though, because we were that was when we were still like, now I don't even bother with tables or anything. That was one of those, like, those couple of years we had like a table set up and we were just
Yeah,
like,
we've
have a
been
flyer.
across from each other.
well,
Core Club and
I think
Movie
the
Meltdown.
second half of these was one that I was next to you.
Yeah.
The first year though, we were like right the next room over from where the whole Norman. Well, what's the dumb movie? The Norman
Walking
Reedus.
Mimic.
Boondock Saints.
Boondock Saints.
Oh,
There
okay.
we go. When they were still
Yeah,
banking on
naming them off, man.
when they were still banking on Boondock Saints, so they were just like, "Oh yeah, you can get both of their pictures."
Oh,
And,
like all behind a table.
all
with
the
banner.
all the girls are over there like Sean Patrick Flannery, blah blah,
And
whatever.
that dude Rocco.
And like
Rocco
God.
was an awesome person when I was drunk, dude.
But like nobody cared. Like they still had, it was like a couple of girls hanging around him and like Norman Reedus sitting by himself, and then like nobody cared. And that was like the first year I think Walking Dead premiered, and it was already, I knew what it was, but nobody cared yet. A year later, like the line was out the building for Norman
insanity.
Reedus, and like the thing that we made fun of when I was sitting next to you, we sat there the whole weekend making fun of the fact that like because we were in that hallway on the way to the bathrooms.
Yeah, of course.
And every, hour or two, here comes Sean Patrick Flannery, and he'd just come walking by and go take a pee. Norman Reedus had to have a bathroom buddy. He couldn't go by himself because
Yeah.
somebody was going to tackle him.
table's
Like some
whole
teenage
flip.
girl was going to be all over him. So like he'd have at least one dude with him walking to go pee every time. And I'm like, oh, look at poor Norman. He's got to take a friend with
Should
him
have
to
brought his
pee.
crossbow.
It changed
Just
everything.
drop some
man.
kids. Just leave me alone.
And that's definitely on the list on the board over there is the evolution, either good or bad, of the conventions over the years. But
Because
that one really killed it.
We talked about Wonderfest a little bit, but like other horror conventions before this change, they were bigger than like Wonderfest, obviously, but they were more geared, as you were saying, toward the lower budget, the B movie stuff, like Friday
People
Night.
went for the film festivals.
Exactly. You go for like Friday Night Film Festival, even though I don't like to bring them up because they're awful people. And but they were it started out as a really good thing, and like you get these film festivals and you get the celebrities, and they would be walking around and nobody was like on guard or anything. They would just walk around. You'd see them in the hallway. You could stop and talk to them, and you could get an autograph or not. You could just walk up to the table and talk to them, and it was no problem.
You didn't feel like you were in somebody
yeah,
else's way.
You weren't in somebody else's way. And like I said, a lot of the smaller ones like Friday Night Film Fest or even like Horror Hound, when it started, it wasn't a huge convention.
No, they were
It was-
really toned down.
Yeah, it was
The
very toned
standard
down.
was hotel. You take 4 or 5 conference rooms in that hotel, and you put fucking people in it. 2 rooms got celebrities, 2 rooms got vendors, 1 room shows films.
Oh, the vendors, yeah.
And that was it. And it was more about like the vendors than the celebrities too, because celebrities were only charging $20, so people actually had money left over.
It's like the golden
to
age,
go
man.
fucking buy other stuff to where all the vendors are going to make money. Now it's, if you want to go to a show as just a fan, you're somebody who just casually does this shit once or twice a year, you're probably going to drop $400 or $500 on celebs. And that's, if you meet 10 celebs, that's $400 or $500 easily.
I see people
And that's
walking
insane.
around those now, and I'm just like, they will have stacks of pictures and posters.
Yeah.
I'm just like, how do you afford this?
Oh, and
Like,
the
I
VIP
can't-
package
I'm
on
lucky
top
to
of
get,
all of that.
I'm lucky to get like one thing signed all weekend.
I've got a
but,
couple
like,
posters that are signed that if I had to get them signed now, it'd fucking
Yeah.
bankrupt me.
Yeah, I have a Return of Living Dead, like a smaller poster signed by like 10 of the cast members. I think I spent maybe $80 on it at the time because I got a few freebies out of
man,
that and all
that's
that.
awesome.
And now I'm thinking about it now. I was like, if they do that fucking reunion now, that's easily $300. Easily. And it's for a bunch of people that aren't doing shit. Fucking half of them go buy fucking crack with it. Miguel Nunez.
Oh my God! I was
motherfucker.
hoping you were going to say that.
Fuck him.
I
This is call out city. I don't care.
I like
Tired
Miguel.
now.
I
He
don't
was
have
fucking
any. I don't have any negative stories about Miguel. I actually have nothing but
I'll feed
positive
him a
stories.
tainted burrito.
Woo! Woo! And
Friday 5.
But let's talk about that. When
Let's
guests,
talk about Miguel.
no, let's talk about when, like, well, we talk about guests. When the guests never, at one point, they didn't charge. Yeah. I guess all of their expenses were paid through ticket sales or whatever. But there was the longest time I didn't pay for an autograph or a photo or anything. Yeah. It was awesome. The first person that ever charged me, I think I've said this before on the podcast, was Kevin McCarthy from Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the original. And it was $13, which is a really weird number. I guess he was adding tax. And I walked away from the table laughing. And then his handler had to chase me down. I was like, oh, what? Oh, really? I guess the hope that there's an ATM outside because I didn't actually bring any money.
I'm trying to think. Was he charging for the photos, like 8x10s too?
I just got my poster signed.
That's the thing. I have one of those.
Small story.
I might have given him some money.
But he said it so dryly. I was like, cool, man. And I walked away.
When we were down there, you mentioned the poster. I was like, he was just such a grumpy old bastard.
See, I had some cool stories.
Well, I mean, I didn't spend any time with him, like most of your interactions with people at these tables. Like you're up there for 2.5 minutes sometimes, and you're just like, "Hey, I liked you in that one thing. Sign this."
Unless you're a dickhead,
which is worse. So I mean, I don't want to I don't want to impose on them. So usually it's just like, okay, this one here, sign this. Okay, thanks, bye. Especially back then, I didn't even interact half the time because I don't know, what do you say to him in a minute and a half? You're the greatest thing ever. And you're certainly not saying that to Kevin because
I'll tell anybody
that's what I'm saying. Like,
whatever,
what the hell did you say? Like, so
fuck it.
Yeah, but he just seemed so miserable, and that was like one of the first times of like, oh, well, this movie star's not happy at all.
Yeah, and he's making me pay.
And then later, I started seeing a lot more of that over the years. But yeah, that was the first time I was like, oh, look at this poor old grumpy dude. He's just here because he has to be, I guess. I don't know.
It's a way to make ends meet, and more so now because if you look at a convention's website, they usually have the prices posted now. Yeah. And that's how you know it's gotten out of control because if you have to budget
you have to
and figure it out. Because like there are several.
Well, they have to make their guarantee now. Their guarantees are higher.
Guarantees. And the other thing is, anytime they post like any type of guest list, like as soon as there's like 2 guests there, everybody hops on and like, I want Rob Zombie because fucking idiots. And then, but then on top of that, they're like, well, are you going to post the prices? This other show posts the prices. They're almost forced to do that. Mm-hmm. And it's a guessing game for one because they don't fucking know half the time. They're like, well, the last show they charged $40, so maybe they'll charge 40.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Or maybe they were charging $40 and they looked at some dickhead that was in a movie for 5 seconds that's charging 50 and they're like, I'm fucking charging 50 at this show.
Yeah, I mean, it becomes a status thing. Yeah. If some guy does cameos,
well, not everybody
Sid Haig.
Sid Haig always charged $10. He didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, he's old though. He don't give a fuck.
But even if he wasn't, he's just a great person.
He was old school, yeah.
And his handler wasn't like his manager, you could tell. It wasn't like that person's like, give me your money. Like, you know what I'm talking about. The handler that you can tell is the business person. Yeah. Or the agent sometimes comes with
there's a lot of those.
It's such a bummer. It kind of ruins the experience.
You see it really bad at wrestling shows. Wrestling shows either have the combination of 2 things. You have a fanager, which they're fine.
I've actually done that.
But the whole time they're kissing ass and it's like fucking annoying. Because anytime you get something signed, they start talking to you about the person that's right there and it's fucking weird. I'm like, this is weird. I don't want to talk to you about this guy.
I'm here to talk to that guy.
Yeah, I'm here to talk to that guy and get my fucking picture. I don't care what knowledge you have or that you have his fucking wardrobe in your house, you fucking weirdo. That's the shit they always talk. Wrestling fans always want to talk about they bought some manatees or whatever the fuck they bought.
What the?
But then the other hand, you have the really business dudes and they're carnies, especially if they're working wrestling shows. All right, they're fucking carnies and they're gonna get you for everything you have. You'll get an autograph and they'll be like, well, we also have this toy.
Yeah, I have.
Add-on sales.
Yeah. Well, they'll go buy like 50 of those fucking pop vinyls that I hate so much for $5 a pop. Sign them like $55. I'm like, his autograph's $20. That's $5. How's that $55?
Yeah.
Because you're fucking me. That's why.
Or the different prices for what you're going to get signed is a weird thing.
So that's sports. And that's what I was going to get to. Horror conventions are taken from sports more now. If you see it. Because sports conventions have always been, if you look at it's like a fucking Denny's menu when you go to a table. It's if you want an autograph
covered in shit.
They have autographs on 8x10 prices, right? Autographs on basketball prices. Whatever the item is, there's different prices for each one. Then there's like, okay, you can either get their name for this much, or if you want me to write 3 words on top of that, it's this much. Or if you want me to write this quote, it's this much. Also, I can't say these things because Nike will sue me. It's all like Bo Jackson, for instance. He can't write Bo Knows on anything.
Everybody
trademarked.
And he will not sign Tecmo Bowl. motherfucker. I found that out.
I used to love that game, by the way.
That's the only thing I wanted signed by him. Then I found out he won't sign Tecmo Bowl. And I said, Bo don't know shit. This is bullshit.
Was that when he's in the Raiders?
Yeah. And he's got there's that iconic picture of him where he's like in the football gear, but he's holding the baseball bat. Like behind him, it's like this big like Nike ad, I think.
Yeah, they did posters and everything.
He can't sign them. People bring him to shows and he's just like, can't do it. It's probably some kind of lawsuit shit, but he can't do it. So horror conventions are becoming that because I've started to see that at C2E2 this year. I saw it where like certain comic book creators, goddamn Rob Layfield, will put like this. He has a menu, literally like a menu of shit,
like Savage Traffic number 7 or some bullshit.
He'll sign it, but he charges certain amounts to sign certain things.
Oh, he knows
depending on,
how
like,
much
the
that's going to
issue
be worth
numbers or whatever. It's not worth shit. You put your fucking shitty signature on my comic book. You fucking ruined it,
yeah.
Rob Layfield. You non-leg drawing motherfucker.
That's so weird.
But
You can draw bodies.
Well, I remember Gene
disproportionately.
Simmons was like, if you want me to sign a guitar, it's $500. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Well,
first off,
They
fuck
all
you, Gene
started
Simmons.
doing that.
so I was at
That's what I meant, like the evolution of the.
I was at the first show that
pricing.
happened at. So Spooky Empire 2010 was Ace Frehley's first show. At least that I'm aware of, and that's what it was promoted as. I was at that show because I was vending with Neil and Rustin. No, actually, I was at that show. That's where I met Neil. Sorry. This is the 10-year anniversary of that. Yay. But Robert Englund was there and John Carpenter was there. And that's what I was excited about.
Oh, my
Dream
God,
Warriors
that'd been
poster
amazing.
and my Halloween poster. And they were both $40 at this time, by the way. And this is only 10 years ago. I walk in and I'm like, hey, where's Carpenter? And them, they're like, oh, they're in that room. I look in the room, it's empty. I'm like, what the fuck? I literally walked right up to Robert Englund, got an autograph, and then walked right over to John Carpenter and got an autograph. I walk out and there's this line wrapped around the whole fucking place for Ace Frehley. And then people were losing their minds because if you had a guitar with you, that price didn't matter anymore. I think he was signing for like $50, but if you brought the guitar up, he's like $500. It was either $300 or $500.
I heard that.
And that show, people were losing their shit. Now it's more normal. Everybody knows that. Yeah. But that one, I thought they were going to riot. I thought a bunch of fucking 50-year-olds in face paint were going to lose their minds. Like,
not juggalos.
My mom's basement was going to look fucking cool.
Shit, they're going to sell that shit on eBay.
Kiss fans are mad at me. Now, Trekkies and Kiss fans are about to kick my ass.
Fuck them both,
It's
right?
okay, man. We got
Fuck
you.
'em, fuck
We
'em
got your
all.
back.
I called out somebody else like 2 episodes ago. They're all going to get together and just beat my ass. It's fine.
Oh, man.
The best I won't sign something lately, and this was just like maybe 2 years ago. There was a sign up front. I won't even go into the person yet. Sign up front said, won't sign any hats or gun parts. Now, do you want to play the game of who the hell was it?
Fuck.
Hats or gun parts. Judge Reinhold.
Wilford Brimley.
Oddly enough, Val Kilmer.
Fuck.
Specifically, I mean, you don't think about it, but there's a huge Tombstone fan base.
Oh.
So how many people come up with, again, like, he didn't really have a rifle, so what are you going to sign a tiny little back side of your pistol?
He has
Like,
to sign the. He has to sign the top of the gun.
yeah, I was just like, what are people toting gun
my
parts in?
Little dad joke, Top Gun dad joke.
Now, the big 10-gallon hat, I can see that maybe, but I guess that rubbed him the wrong way too, because he wouldn't die.
That brings up a good point because somebody probably brought a gun to
Oh,
the
yeah.
convention, and
Well, Jason.
I'm sure that's
Not
why they
anymore.
had that rule. Some idiot
anymore.
showed up
yeah,
with a gun.
but it used to be. I remember when The Walking Dead started taking off, and everybody was going to meet Norman Reedus. How many jackasses did you see with loaded crossbows?
Rolling in with
I was
crossbows.
at Horror Hound when he was there, and I was walking behind somebody, and their crossbow was loaded with a bolt. And I was
People are
hey,
stupid.
fucking
jackass,
dumb.
you know you're gonna fucking kill somebody.
Well, yeah, I mean that's the whole thing with Kane
Nobody
Hodder.
drinks at conventions, man.
People were
Never.
bringing machetes for Kane Hodder, and he used to
Oh,
do
yeah.
the gimmick
Yeah.
where he would put the blade up to you, but then that one fuckface got cut, so they can't do it anymore because they were going to sue the shit out of him for that.
Man, why would... Okay, that's a
Because
mess.
people ask for those things, and then when something bad happens, they think lawsuit.
It's an opportunity. Yeah.
They're like, I'm going to get this guy for his $40.
You're just trying to say, that's not the rich person you want to hit up
Or,
for money.
But there are some petty ones, like Linda Blair, who's that chick, the other chick that always signs at conventions from Exorcist? Elaine Dietz?
Yeah.
That's- okay,
Yeah,
her.
She did all the... she's the
Stunts
stunt
and,
person.
yeah.
So if you have an Exorcist poster and she signs it first, Linda Blair won't sign it.
That is petty.
That's kind of
That is
petty.
Fuck.
That was happening last year.
What
a
if
lot,
you tell her
and
you
people were
love
getting real
puppies?
pissed
Will
off.
she do it then?
Well, for the longest time, she never got any recognition for that role. So when she finally came out and she's like,
Yeah.
look, I did this,
Yeah.
and this, which you fucking should be able to do that. Linda got pissed off.
Yeah, she won't sign.
Derek and I were at a convention, and I remember we actually witnessed some really fucked up shit that she had been doing because we were talking to Michael Biehn, and her table was right next to her, and I was like, "What the fuck, man?" And he's like, "Yeah." Michael Biehn was like, "Yeah, it's been like that all day."
She's an asshole. And speaking of Michael Biehn, for people that go to conventions. They don't want your fucking presence. They don't want you to send them pictures and all shit.
Story?
I don't know which one. It was one of you that got it, right?
It was me. I still have it.
Okay, so we're walking through this fucking convention, and we talked to Michael Biehn for a minute, and he's like, "Look at this picture of me." And it's like a picture of Michael Biehn from Tombstone, right?
Derek is getting ready to go up to buy an autograph.
Yeah.
This is an awful story, but go ahead.
So he ends up just talking to us and being really cool to us. But he's like, hey, his fan just gave me this. Look at it. And I think he's trying to show me this cool piece of
creeped him
art.
out.
It's this like really good, well-drawn picture of Michael Biehn from Tombstone. And I'm like, oh, that's fucking great. And he's like, you want it? Like, what? And he fucking signs it and gives it to Steve.
And Derek was so mad.
I was just like, okay, like that was weird. But he just like this dude spent all his time on it.
I felt
was like,
bad.
Michael Bihn's gonna love it. Yeah, you felt so bad you fucking took it.
Fucking I did. But I mean, I felt as an artist, and I've done that. Yeah. I've done like portraits of people I admire or whatever the fuck. But wow, can you imagine that poor kid?
Yeah, I mean, in reality, what did he think he was
know.
going to do? I'm going to hang up a picture of myself over my fireplace. That
Some
little
people
fucking
do.
Billy drew me.
I've seen celebrities be like, "Oh, it's so great." They'll take an Instagram picture, but Michael
Yeah,
Biehn
they'll
was
do it.
literally creeped out. He was like, "Man,"
They take
and it
the
was like a
picture.
secret. He looked around and said, "Check this out. It's weird." And he starts, yeah, it's what he did.
I've had
he even
one
signed
do
it
that,
for me.
'cause I've seen people show up with like some really bad, not to be a dick.
If it's a
but,
child,
like,
I can
They're
understand.
just like, yeah, but I mean, they're trying. Like, more power to them. You're an artist. You're working on it, but like they're not there yet. But they're already at the point of like, look, I did this thing for you, and like they show. And one of them was like badly pieced together like computer art. It was like really bad, and they were just like,
Maybe it was 8-bit, man. 8-bit Jason.
it wasn't that retro. But yeah, after they left, they were at least nice enough to wait till they left. But then they were just like, oh my god, what the hell am I gonna do with this? And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you.
I wouldn't take it. I'd throw it in the fucking trash.
Well, yeah, they ended up leaving it there. I was just like, I don't know what to tell you.
Because people are fucking weird too, though. So if you're too nice to them, like if I took the picture and was like, oh, this is great, and we take a picture and I fucking tag you on Instagram or whatever, you're in my fucking DMs the next day like we're best fucking friends.
that does happen.
And I've heard
had
wrestlers
friends
talk
that
about
done
that
that.
shit before. They say that they react like the way they thought they should to a situation, like multiple times, because some of these fans just show up at everything, and then all of a sudden these people in their DMs getting mad when you don't reply to them. Like, oh, I thought we were friends.
Yeah, you
now.
got stalker now.
And I'm like, that's fucking crazy. Yeah. I mean, because it is. I mean, this whole thing's a little loony. When you think of convention, it's just a bunch of fucking weirdos wanting to meet people that we saw on fucking TV.
That you probably masturbated to.
Yeah, and then buy shirts of those people that we masturbated to.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Is that
And probably clean up the masturbation with those shirts.
The opportunity to meet somebody you not either idolize but fucking jerk off to is very strange.
So we're going to talk about Pam Grier now?
Oh, yeah. We've all met
man.
Pam Grier, haven't we?
So let's go
we
to
not
this.
all met Pam Grier because she's fucking amazing.
She's pretty awesome.
Since this motherfucker wants to target me,
I felt the same way. It's okay.
I was in a relationship at this time. But Firuza Balk, I'm probably saying her name wrong, from The Craft.
No, that's perfect.
Natasha Henstridge and some other chick, I can't even think of her right now. We're all at this show. And every single one of them, I let my girlfriend get in the picture with me because I didn't really care that much. Because I knew nothing was going to happen. But there's fucking Pam Grier. And I'm like, I'm talking to fucking Pam Grier and you can't be around. And she's like, what? And I'm like,
Oh, that's awesome.
and I was just like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm going to go talk to Pam. I'm like, you're going to go fucking talk to fucking Twiggy or something when I'm not around. So let me go talk to Pam Grier.
Good point.
And so yeah, it was fun. She was really cool. She put up with my bullshit. Anytime somebody puts up with my bullshit, I'm like, I can appreciate you.
She was in an amazing mood.
She's
when
like,
I met her.
she's like, which picture you want? And I'm like, I want the one with like the less clothes. And I got this really cool.
From what, Arena or whatever? It was like
It's
the Watson
the
Gladiator.
model when she did like that Indian gimmick and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
fucking
God.
awesome.
I'm surprised you weren't like,
She's
I want
so
the scene
smoking
from
in it.
Coffee at exactly 30 minutes and 45 seconds.
That was really
I got her
precise.
to sign
My
my
tape's worn
Sheba
out at
Baby
that
soundtrack because
Yeah.
she did a film with Louisville. Since we're here in Louisville, our Grindhouse King William Girdler did a film with her, and I got her to talk about him for a minute and sign my soundtrack to Sheba Baby. So that was it. I was like,
No,
I just creamed on my own face.
She's awesome. I mean, you know me, I have no game, so I'm not the type of dude that's gonna be like, I'm not gonna be like, hey, baby. I just like to make jokes and shit. I'm like, I know you're gonna be offended if you're around me right now because I'm gonna be way too excited for this human. I'm like, she's fucking 40 years older than me. You shouldn't give a shit, but this is like my little kid dream. And my little kid's dreams have been crushed at conventions many times because there
Yeah.
have been
But she looks
2 times where the
That's what I was
women.
gonna say. We're
I was-
still
I was
hot
there both of
regardless.
those, I
Like,
think.
Yeah.
Still hot right now.
Well, there's been 2 times where the women that I had crushes on in the 80s
And it got
actually
weird.
tried to hit on me and get with me, and I was like,
We were at a pool party. One of them, I was like,
oh,
oh
my
shit.
god! I was trying to close
She
my
hit
eyes.
me.
I was like,
Like, physically.
If I could just close my eyes and you could just
was
be,
drunk.
it could be 1989 right now. This would be so good, but I can't do it. And I was so mad. I just left her there for fucking pizza.
Priorities.
There's a
you
lot
know.
of like people are like,
Priorities.
fill
It was
in the
so
blanks.
funny and awkward.
Well, so the first night it was so funny because I got this poster of this chick, like this movie she's in, and she's like, I like your hair, because at the time I had stupid fucking hair, like red and shit in it, like an idiot, like Rufio. And so I ignore her, and then I come back around because she's like literally like 3 doors down from my room, and she's like, you're just gonna ignore me? Do you know who I am? And I'm like, I don't know who the fuck you are. I'm drunk, whatever. And she's like, now look, and I'm like, oh shit, I don't want to say her name and be an asshole, but anyway, I go back to her room because I'm like, you're offering me shots and food. That sounds awesome. And we go in the room and she's drunk as fuck, and she like jumps on this pizza that's on her bed, like sets on it. She's like, oopsie, forgot about that. And I'm sitting down next to her, and she starts talking about like all these horror movies she's gonna make. She's gonna make this movie called The Glass Treehouse. So she's listening. She's like, "Fuck, he's talking about me." And then I'm like, I'm trying to listen to her, and she's like, "You're an actor, aren't you?" And I'm like, "Well, kind of, but I'm pretty sure you think I'm someone else."
Like you do.
And out of nowhere, she licks my neck, and I'm like, "I gotta go." And then I leave the room, and I get yelled at by my friends because they're like, "You should have did it." And I'm like, "I can't. I'm a man with priorities and morals." I didn't say it like that.
That's
really.
not, yeah.
I was just like, I couldn't do it. She's fucking ugly now. But it's just,
That's the fucking truth right there.
But then we go. So the next day we go to the pool party, and then, now she brings another lady from the '80s that I was obsessed with, and tries to get me in like a 3-way with them, and I say no, and they both get really mad about it, and then he gets punched.
She hits me.
And I'm just
You
like,
were asking for it for some reason.
and I'm like, little kid me would fuck me up right now for saying no to all this, but I could not, like, it was the worst. So Foxy Brown was like my moment of just being like, so.
Pam fucking Grier, baby.
But because I've had some creepy ones that really let down my childhood, because I'm like, man, I get it. Aging's a thing. And I don't want to bash anybody for time, but some people do things on top of time that affect how they do that.
Just say no, kids.
Yeah, say no to the drugs.
Oh yeah, it's the drugs and the sun and the booze and the
Ooh,
drugs.
the sun for
The
sure.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
Lots of sun.
Lots of sun. Well, moving on from that, what's your Pam Grier story?
Yeah, Dave.
Oh, I mean, I was.
Is it nothing
I was
like that?
You were in line behind me.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Because you came up and you're like Pam Grier, and I'm like, yeah. And you're like, I was like, I can't think about this other stuff right now. Just Pam Grier, and you're like, yeah.
Man,
and that's pretty much the whole conversation I got up to her, and she was wearing.
Did you go, yeah?
Yeah, she was wearing like a Transformers shirt.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I love you. And I didn't want to say it like in a creepy way. I was just, but I don't remember what else I said, but she wasn't completely creeped out when Derek got to her. So maybe I was just the buffer. Maybe that's why she didn't run away. Because
You're the buffer.
I was just like, I usually don't get starstruck. And like with her, it was like, wow, I really love your movies. I really love your character. I love what you do. And I didn't want to be like blah, but I think I was.
Yeah.
I was really trying not to, because I usually try to play it cool.
Just word vomit.
Just word vomit the whole time.
I haven't gotten starstruck that much, but
I mean, it's happened a couple times for me, but that was probably the most recent starstruck moment for me.
Recent?
Oh, well, no, I could think of another one, and Derek was there for this one, and I'll tell the story.
Okay.
So it was Horror Hound. You remember this? We were in the bar, and I'm a huge Guar fan.
Oh my God, this fucker.
oh, I know this story.
So I'm a huge Guar fan, and Dave Rocky. It was the Holliston reunion they were having there. So Dee Snider was there. Adam Green. Everybody from the show.
Dee Snider was awesome, by the way. When I met him.
In the bar, it was Dave Rocky and Adam Green, and I'm sitting there talking to Dave because I was wearing a Guar shirt. I've got a lot of.
You had a
them.
Guar hat on too, didn't you?
Probably. I've got a lot of.
I feel like you were covered in Guar.
Yeah, he's
I've got
inside
a lot.
and out.
I've got
And
a
you're
lot.
like, hey, I'm kind of a fan.
No, I just talked to him because I'd met him several times, and it always took him like 5 minutes, and he'd be like, "Oh yeah, sideburns," and that's what he would call me. And then we would just talk. We were talking for a little bit. We did a bunch of shots of Jaeger because that's what he liked to drink.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, let's drink some Jaeger." So we do that. And he's telling me about the new albums getting ready to come out. He's telling me lyrics, but this time I'm so fucking drunk. I don't even know what we're talking about.
Yeah, you were done.
And he was like, man, I really need some weed. And I'm like, I could find you weed, whatever.
Yeah.
This isn't my town, but I'll figure it out.
And so at this point, I'll let Derek take over the story because it's hard to remember.
Yeah, to rewind it a little bit. So I'm at this hotel bar. It's me, one of my indie filmmaker buddies, Bryan, and then there's Adam Green and Joe Lynch up at the bar with us, and then Brocky's off to the table on the side. So Dave just kind of comes wandering in and starts drinking and getting fucked up, and then walks up to me and is like, I gotta get weed for Dave Brocky. And I'm like, all right, cool, man, go get weed for Dave Brocky. And he leaves. And I'm like, all right, he's dead. Like, whatever. I don't know what the fuck happened. He comes back, I don't know how long later. Felt like a good amount of time. And he's like, all right, I gotta go bring it to him. He's across the street at the Live-In, which is like, if you're ever in the Horror Hound, it's like the hotel that's connected to the convention center. So we walk over there, and he's just like, I don't know the room number. I'm like, you don't know the fucking room
You're just
number?
gonna walk around and
So I'm
knock.
like, what am I gonna do?
Couldn't remember.
Yeah. So we just start knocking on doors.
Was it 138 or 38?
We never found him that day because
Oh
we
my God.
knocked on every fucking door, which coincidentally, one of the doors that opened was the one that was my future fucking girlfriend's door, which was really weird. And it was really awkward because the girl, like, it was her friend that opened the door when I knocked, and she like runs out and it looks like I'm knocking for her, like to hang out. And we like talk for a minute and I'm like, okay, bye. And he's just fucked. And I'm like, no, Brocky's not in there either. But I guess the next morning?
Yeah, the next morning
After
I
he took me on
walked
his
to
hotel
the
to get
gas
arrested
station.
eventually?
Now I walked to the gas station to get some coffee, and I saw him in there, and I was like, "Hey, I got that weed for you." And he's like,
the 7-Eleven.
"Yeah, it's just like at a fucking gas station." He's like, "Do you want to do a drug deal right here?" I was just like, "Here you go." Just handed him the weed, and it's like, "See you later, dude."
Oh my God.
And that's one of my favorite convention stories because that was one of my favorite convention connections was with Dave. At that time, like we talked football. He loves fucking football. So he ended up getting my number, and then we got Guar VIP passes and all this shit. I didn't end up going, but my ex got to do like the fucking meat grinder or whatever thing for Guar and hang out
Oh,
and
yeah.
all that shit. So they got to do all that, and he was really cool. Like he was just like a cool, down to earth dude. So that's the good side of cons is you do meet guys that will go to the bar afterwards, hang out and have a drink.
Those are my favorites. Lance Henriksen.
Yeah.
We talked about the Horror Hound where Catherine Isabel was.
Oh, yeah.
she was bartending
We
because
were at a
so much
hotel
room,
party
yeah.
upstairs with a bunch of awesome people, and fuck, the only thing I remember from that time is me almost getting into a fight with somebody at the party, and then Catherine Isabella giving us the worst cocktails you've ever tasted.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, Catherine Isabel.
Hell yeah.
I didn't go in there.
Oh my God, it was hilarious. She was so fucked.
I know.
And trying to make it was like somebody falling asleep, and then wait, I need some mixer in that. Like, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Do you remember anything other than from that? Because
Nope.
goddamn, I just remember almost getting into a fight, and I think Sean Clark and her were like, "Hey," I was like, "Oh, okay, I won't hit this dude," and I can't remember what it was about, but it was hilarious. It's Sean Clark from Horror's Hollowed Ground, and Catherine Isabella, and I was like, "Okay, I'm sorry."
You're probably being an asshole.
No, not me. Not me.
Definitely drunk Steve. So one other thing about these conventions, film festivals, that seems to be a big thing. We slightly touched on it, but film festivals are a big part of it.
They've always been. They even before the horror convention started, the film festivals were around, and it's like they just kind of like when the convention started getting bigger, they're like, well, we'll add a tattoo convention, we'll add a film festival, and it's such a great part of it all, especially the tattoo conventions. I love that stuff, and Mask Fest and all, the vendors, all that shit's just amazing. But
Anything extra is nice because that's my thing about these conventions that compete with each other and talk shit about each other. Like, I'm better than them. Like, you're all the same fucking thing. You're all vendor tables, celebrities, a fucking shitty concert afterwards, fucking karaoke because you all do fucking karaoke for fucking one night, and then a little film fest room. You're all the same shit, just different presentations, and they'll all talk shit about each other like they're the best show.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm like, your show's exactly like the other one. You're just in a different fucking hotel with maybe more, maybe less people. And it's the same shit. Because at the end of the day, the community makes these shows. There's a good fan base there that's there to fucking have fun. You'll have a good time.
you're gonna have a great time.
But if it's like a bad atmosphere, morale's low, just like a job, fucking everybody's pissed. If vendors are fucking pissed off because the show sucks, it kind of ruins things. Celebrities are pissed.
I forget there are films. Like, it's funny being there for movies for some, in some way, shape, or form. Or we'll even go there and talk about specific movies. But, like, it never even occurs to me. Like, there's only been once or twice I remember going, especially one in a different city, because you're already there doing a million other things. So I'm like, it's so weird to think, no, let's stop, go for a couple hours and watch a movie. Well, it's just there's too much going on. I forget that it's even a thing.
It doesn't help that some lines take an hour to get through to meet on the bigger ones, and then oh wait, I'm gonna go see my friend's movie. If it's a friend, if it's not a friend, I can see how you're gonna skip that.
How do you have time? There's too many things.
Some of them do show like movies before they're coming out in the theater,
Oh, I love
or
the
like
premieres.
or the premieres. And I've seen like some of the premieres that I've seen at these conventions. I saw like Black Sheep, the movie about the killer sheep.
Yeah.
Great movie.
It's a great movie.
Just to clarify, not
Tucker-
the other
the
Black
Chris
Sheep.
Farley hit.
Chris Farley.
David Spade's awesome.
Wonderfest 1997. They debuted Black Sheep.
Oh god.
So things like Tucker and Dale versus Evil, Maniac was one that I saw there.
They premiered the Cabal cut. I've seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of them.
Yeah, so I mean that's always a bonus, but I mean I usually found my way into most of those theaters when I was just too drunk to stand and I needed to sober up.
Yeah, and some of them get cool. Like Jason Hoover is a buddy of ours, and he did that fucking 48-hour like nonstop.
Yeah, he
film
started
fest,
that with Days of the Dead. Yeah.
which was crazy. Like I love that he did that though. I don't know how he did it. I don't know how he survived it. I don't know how he didn't fucking die. But he played those movies like nonstop. And it was. I like that concept because I can just walk in whenever the fuck I feel like it and catch something.
Take a rest. Yeah.
And this is gonna make me fucking sound like a hypocrite because I've tried to get people to watch my movies and shit. I don't like to go in those rooms and just sit down. I don't like those like shitty school chairs. I don't like watching
not
shit
fun.
from a projector while like half the crowd's like drunk and whispering or talking loudly. But I do like, I'll buy your fucking DVD from you. Like, you know,
Yeah,
I'll
I've
give
done
you $10,
that. I'll go home and
$5 or
watch it.
$10, you know. Bring a TV, show me a trailer. If it doesn't look like shit, I'll buy it. I hate going in those rooms. I didn't go in those rooms when the shit I was in there.
Yeah, I was gonna say like we've
was-
all been a part of.
I was
independent
trickery.
films.
I would just leave.
Well, and speaking of Days of the Dead, we used to have the Gore Club used to have the midnight hour on Friday nights, and I'd always show independent films, or I'd find a premiere and have that. So it's tough getting people into those rooms.
Yeah.
But that midnight time was a lot easier because it wasn't during normal programming.
That's
That's more fun. It's part of an after party.
Yeah,
and then we're all gonna get ripped afterwards.
And the only thing that sucks is that the bigger shows, there's certain filmmakers are going to get those like prime time slots. So if like you're up and coming, you're fucked. You're showing your movie at 2 p.m.
Or 9 a.m.
You're not doing after the con. You're fucking 2 p.m. when everything's going on. And
Or
they'll
there's a
book it
panel
that-
next door.
Yeah. Or you're gonna go the same time as fucking whatever rockabilly concert's happening right now. You know, the Horror Hound Records fucking whoa guys.
Well, I got to
Whatever
see the
fucks.
Necromantics one year, and that was amazing. So I like that one.
There's an audience for all that shit. It's fine. But I just, most of the time I'm like, Elzig was cool. I'll take Elzig. Give me something fucking funny and stupid.
Well, coming from a podcast, I mean, you've done interviews. You've interviewed celebrities at conventions. What the hell? I mean, doing like remote. What's that like? Is it easier when they're drunk?
See, that's the thing. As you were going through stories, I don't have party stories because I don't hang out for parties.
Oh, man.
It's rare that I can even. There's a few times we've ended up just with like we were actually for one staying. Half the time I can't afford to stay there. The weekend is the sad thing. But if once in a while we were like, we might end up back over there and be in the middle of some sort of. It's just tons of people. It's
I've
just-
seen you in
it's
the
too
lobby with
much.
the microphone in somebody's face, or it's
Not
like
much. Again, I just don't like doing it that way in general. Like for all the practical purposes. Number one, sound's gonna suck. Number two, if they're drunk, it's gonna be terrible. Like people think drunk podcasting's funny. If you listen to it, it's not.
I don't know.
I've
Derek
heard
does
mine.
pretty well.
I'll survive. When you do an interview, who dictates where it's going to be at? Do you tell them like, "Hey, I'm doing interviews over here," or are they like,
can't-
"Hey, you'll catch me"?
Most of the time, you can't, unless you have a table. The few times I did that, sometimes you can convince them to come to your table because it's easier than doing something at theirs. But rarely do you have any say in anything. It's just, and that's I think what maybe has worked well over the years is I try to stay as fluid as possible. Like, where do we want to go? Over here? You want to go there? That's the thing when I think back. I've done interviews in damn near every weird setting everywhere. Yeah. One of them I did an entire interview sitting on the floor in the middle of a hotel. We're down, I didn't know it at the time. After we'd been sitting there for a few minutes, we're right down from the pool. So there's just wet kids running back and forth every 10 seconds. I'm just like, what? How the hell did we
It's about
get
the
here?
elevators, probably the old.
Yeah, but it was like literally right in the hole.
I remember that.
And people
That's
were
when some of the
walking
best
by
parties
going,
were, too.
Hey, like they all recognize this person, and I'm just like, this is probably not the best place to be right now, is it? But that's where we ended up. So yeah, I just try to kind of roll with things and figure out the best place I can be under the circumstances. So I try to get people. This is where it becomes creepy. They already don't know me, and I'm like, come over here, away from everyone.
Yeah,
so
come in this
as
corner.
much as I don't want to be one of those weirdos, it always seems that way. And I'm like, I swear it's for sound purposes. I swear. But so yeah, it's usually just how can we get out of this, mostly the big rooms. Those rooms, that drone is a nightmare. So like you can't even pick stuff up half the time in those. So anywhere you can get away from that. But yeah, I've
That's
ended
the
up
good thing about
getting
like the
a lot of
dead
weird
cons.
stuff.
If
yeah.
you're at like slow con, you can get all the interviews you want. I remember like there's been a few in like Bumfuck, Kentucky that suck.
Dead winner.
Well, it was the one associated with that one because Western Evil did one, but I wasn't at that one. And then the other one I went to. But I remember watching one of the podcaster guys just go from table to table because no one else was there getting all of his fucking interviews. I don't know if he was paying though or not, but he went to all 8 celebs at this motherfucker and got them.
Yeah, I have a story like that.
And they were all like 20-minute interviews. So they had nothing else to do. There's not that weird tension. Like if you go to a celeb's table for the interview, a lot of times, cause I see people try to do it to Joe Bob all the time and they'll get like their little 20-second clip with him, but he has a line of people. So he's not going to be like, hey, yeah, let's do a 10-minute fucking
Absolutely
interview.
not.
While everybody just stares at me. And then the next podcaster comes up and we do another 10-minute interview.
That's
Unless
why
you're
I
really
try
lucky.
not to do. Like
Yeah,
I
like that
don't want to
awkward-
do it at the table if I can because it's such a mess. So yeah, if I can find any time other than that, like yeah.
Who was your favorite interview that went well at a convention? If there is one,
I was
actually.
gonna say, I mean,
It
there's-
came out well. You're like, man, that's great.
at a convention. I don't know.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, again, like I always feel like I'm fighting with so many things.
Find Tony Todd
After-
sitting on a fucking bench like I did.
I talked to him at one of those. It was kind of at the table. I don't know. I mean, to me, one of the more memorable wins, and I think it's partially because of the person, partially because we had weird subject matter. There was an early Danielle Harris that was really awesome. She's super cool anyway, but it was one of those, it is lengthy because I started getting to the point of like, I've done enough of like, okay, let me ask you a bunch of dumb questions about your movies. So I'd gotten out of that and I'm like, if it's somebody that's cool, I kind of want to like find something else to, I'm like, well, let's just talk about a movie. Like, not even a movie you're in. Let's pick a movie and just talk about it and do like a whole, because we do that on the show anyway. So I'm just bringing in a different person to do that. So, and again, I don't know. I don't think she was just trying to be a jerk about it, but we're sitting in the middle of a horror convention and she's like, okay, here's the movie I want to talk about. When Harry Met Sally. And I'm like, fine. I was like, what? We'll pick a day. I'm going to go home and watch it again. I've seen it, but whatever. Because I'm not a huge... And that's the thing. I kind of stuck to my guns. I have issues with it, and I brought them up. But she was so cool about it. And again, it was such a weird scenario of sitting in the middle of a horror convention talking about this rom-com bullshit. And like, it was a nice kind of moment there. So that one's really good. Sort of connected to her. I did a similar thing with Christina Klebe. Again, that just sort of ended up somewhere in the hotel, and like we're talking about a weird foreign movie, and like she's super smart and like was really into the visuals on it, and like that just became a really good movie discussion. You know, regardless of the fact that it's with Christina Klebe, but
Right.
like, I was like, there's ones like that have just sort of ended up being a good conversation more so than the weird, horror geekness to it. Again, I try to dial it back and don't be such a dork about it and just try to have a normal conversation as best I can. It's a challenge for me on a normal day-to-day basis, but
God, I wish you would train people at conventions on how to have a normal fucking conversation.
Right.
I think it throws them off.
I
Like
would
there's
think
so
that's
many
more
times.
enjoyable, actually,
Yeah,
for
there's so
somebody who
many
knows
times-
everything about them.
Because I kind of doubted myself going into this, but like over the years, I've gotten to the point, there's so many times after I talk to somebody that like, you guys are good actors, but they're not this good actors. They'll be like, wow, that was actually kind of fun. Like they're just like in shock that I wasn't like slobbering on them or asking them the same 12 questions they've gotten their entire life. Like we ended up having a real conversation and it like throws them off.
Yeah.
They're just like, whoa, that was great.
Well, especially during the early days of conventions, the guests didn't know as much as they know now because they have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you're gonna ask it, and they're like, I don't fucking know. It's just a job.
I kind of like
Well-
sometimes when they still answer like that.
I think a lot of times people come away with that, like, that guy was a dick. And I think we've talked about this before. And my whole thing is like, could you imagine like answering the same fucking question over and over? Eventually, like, you're going to sound like an asshole. I sound like an asshole all the time in my job to people that aren't assholes because I answer the same fucking question over and over. And eventually I'm just like, fuck. Right? And even at conventions, I've had people walk away and be like, that guy's a fucking dick. And I'm like, yes, I am. Sorry. Like, I'll joke. Like, when I was signing shit at tables, I'm like, why the fuck do you want my autograph? Like, I would, because I'm genuinely like wonder that anyway. Because I'm just like, I'm going to ruin your fucking DVD now. And people would take that so seriously. And just like, oh, he's an asshole. I'm like, I'm just joking with you because I don't want you talking about my scene in this fucking movie for an hour. Because we know what my scene is in that movie, and I don't feel like fucking talking about it.
Oh, yeah. But maybe you become the Bruce Campbell. Like, no, it's just fucking Derek.
No, it's just that, yeah, most people get that. But there's a few people that are always just like, you're an ass. Or one guy actually messaged me like, a year after the movie came out. It was like, you're the only signature I don't have on mine, and you're also the only signature my friend doesn't have on his. Because, like, you kept walking away from the table when we came over there. And I'm like, so you think I intentionally... When you were by the table, just got the fuck up and left. Dude, I don't know. And didn't even know we were Facebook friends. I was like, send me your fucking DVD and I'll sign it and I'll pay for shipping. If you really want to do that. Then he sent it to me and I fucking signed it huge because I am an asshole.
Oh, you covered up everybody else.
I was like, I'll prove you I'm wrong.
Oh my God.
You got my signature now.
Got my signature.
You just drew dicks all over it.
No, it was just one of those weird. I was like, dude, nobody's doing that to you intentionally. And I hear those stories sometimes about other celebrities, like, oh, he got up and took a phone call. I'm like, yeah, maybe he got a fucking important phone call. Like, what do you want him to do? He'll be back in 10 minutes. You're gonna be here all weekend.
Right.
Just fucking wait.
I've definitely had, like, I've had that in the middle of an interview, and I'm like, it was like their agent. Like, I'm like, dude, no, you got business to do. Like, I'm gonna shut up and sit here. Like, do it. Like, take your call. Like.
These people have lives outside of this little weekend bubble that we go into, which I love. This weekend bubble, I think it's amazing. It's like an alternate universe most of the time.
God, I miss it.
When Monday hits, it fucking
I can't wait till this is over. Yeah.
Even when Sunday is like winding down and I'm done with the conventions, I'm like, God, fuck, I want to go home. When Monday hits, I'm like, fuck, I'd rather go back to Friday. Like, I'd rather go back to that fresh, like, you walk in the hotel room, put your shit down, you're all excited for the weekend. You start doing like 7,000 shots, or for me, you do 7,000 shots. So your anxiety's gone and you can deal with humans. And then people can call you an asshole because you walk away from a table and you didn't sign their fucking Blu-ray that you didn't pay me to sign anyway.
You should have charged $10. That's what you should have done.
Or motherfuckers do illegal shit. I think it should be illegal. You take screen caps of the films I'm in and get like these little 8x10s and shit and bring them up to me randomly and like, hey, sign this. And I'm like, fuck you. Like, I mean, I'll do it, but sometimes they print out shit. I'm like, why would you use that as a screen cap? I'm pretty sure that's my penis.
It is. It probably is.
They've done it. That one dude did it right in front of Ethan Embry, and which gave me a great moment with Ethan Embry because
he's an awesome person anyway.
Well, he was great because he just like the dude had this binder out and he flips to it and there it is, and I'm like, he's like, well, you signed this. I'm like, fucking no. And he goes, I thought maybe you would say that. So then he flips the page and it's a cropped version of that photo where it's like me from like waist up, and I'm like, okay, I'll fucking sign it. And Ethan Embry the whole time's like leaning over, trying to look. So as soon as that guy walks away, he's like, what the fuck was that?
This is my dick.
And then we spent this awkward time talking about this nude scene I did, which that movie it was fun. The filmmakers behind that are fucking fabulous. It's just like it haunts me sometimes now because I didn't realize how weird the horror fan base gets about things. Yep. And I didn't realize, like, as far as like male nudity, you don't think in your head it doesn't happen in movies a lot. So this scene, like, I'm sharing with the nude female, and like me and her behind the same table, these dudes are lining up to talk to me and not her, and it's really weird because they're like, "Oh man, I can't believe you did that! Oh, you fucking dick!" And I'm like, "What about her? Let's talk to her." But it's because of how, like, they're like shocked by it. It's the shock value. They haven't seen a penis since, I guess, Oz on HBO. I guess
male frontal nudity. Yeah,
it doesn't. And it's weird. It should happen more.
Yeah, you would think it'd be more, especially in the horror genre. Like,
no, dudes just show butts a lot, and half the time they show butts.
They always want to say like, "Oh, this is like a female forward genre because it's always the final girl." It's like, yeah, how many dicks are in these movies then?
Sleepaway Camp,
right? Oh,
well, that's what I was just.
That's not really her dick, man. I want to see her dick, not his.
Yeah, Sleepaway Camp, but it just goes back to how like awkward fans are, because fans will be so fucking awkward and kind of rude.
Felicia Rose is awesome too.
And they act like you want to do, like, I don't want to talk, like, how was that scene? I'm like, how long are we going to talk about this? I don't want to talk about that with you. Like, what do you do for a living, Sarah? Like, let's talk to you. But they'll come away from guys like Tom Savini who do like 700 of these. And he is kind of a dick a little bit, but he's not the person that people make him out to be. He's not.
It depends on what you bring up.
Yeah.
Well, that's the same with Linda Blair. You're talking about animals, she's all about you.
Well, she still can be an asshole.
Man, yeah. I've heard stories of that too. I've never really been treated badly by a celebrity at any convention.
I have, so I've had John Hurd's the main one I brought up earlier. That dude was the biggest prick I ever met in my life.
I remember that show.
I remember being excited because if you listen to this podcast, I bring up Chud all the time. And I was like, oh, he's going to sign my fucking Chud poster.
It's going to be, I was excited.
And I walk up to him. He's got a
We love Chud.
He's got a laptop. So it's like his handler is the one you meet. And then he's got a laptop in front of him the same way Dave does for those watching YouTube.
Talking about sports.
John Hurd does. And so I'm talking to his handler and I'm like, hey, I want to get my poster signed. And John Hurd's still not looking at me. He's sitting with his arms crossed and he's bouncing back and forth behind his table, staring at his laptop. And his handler's like, he's watching the soccer game.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, cool. Like I like sports too, so I get it. So I'm being patient. I'm just like, fuck it. Like, yeah, somebody will score a goal or, well, not soccer, so that might be tomorrow. So but I was like, something will happen to where he's going to pay attention. Nope. He literally slides the poster to him. John keeps looking at the laptop. He signs a poster of a black background with a black Sharpie. And then I make a comment about it to his handler. His handler grabs the gold one, hands it to him, and he signs it again. So now I got a gold signature on it. Doesn't say a fucking word to me or even look at me. And then his handler goes, do you want a picture? I'm like, fuck you. No. He's like,
You can both be watching the game.
No shit.
he said another $20 for a picture. And I'm like, no, fuck that. And I walked away.
Should have just turned off his laptop, just closed it.
And I don't think even John Hurd even knew I was there. I don't think he had any idea that I was there that whole time. But then I heard stories later that like some younger girl came by wearing like a schoolgirl, like dead
I
school.
heard that story too.
And he called her a slut. Oh, she was in a wheelchair. That's what it was. And he called her like a slut. And she's like a
Well, she was wearing
whore for
fishnets,
dancing
I
like
think,
that.
or something.
Yeah.
Stupid like
He's like,
what,
you
really, dude?
He's like, you leave the house like that. You're such a slut and all this shit. And I'm like, oh, wow, he sucks. That sucks because I really like Chud and Home Alone, but you're not getting my Home Alone money, buddy. Just my Chud money.
See, that's the other extreme. Like, as much as I don't want people, to, the fans to be creepy, sometimes the people at the table are being kind of
totally.
So it can fall on both sides of the table.
Yeah, I've met a couple like that. The one I think about the most that was just like a real awkward experience was I'm gonna fuck up his name, but Andrew Baranowski.
Brian
Baranowski, yeah.
Fuck him.
Yeah, that guy. He's a fucking dick.
Linda
but-
Blair would hate him. All those dead dogs under his trailer.
Man, I think everyone has stories about this guy.
When I met him, like I was just walking by and it was just like, hey, it's fucking the program. Like
the program, Leatherface.
He is that guy.
Yeah, he
He's
is.
the
He's
guy from
exactly
the
that
program.
guy.
He is
But
the
I was wearing like a carcass shirt or something like that, and he's like, "Oh yeah," and we started talking about metal, and he's just like, "Hey man, you want an autograph?" I'm like, "Sure," and he wrote. It's the weirdest autograph I have because like it's Leatherface, and he drew like a sad face on it with X's in its eyes. He's like, "You're next," and then like half-ass scribbled his name on there. He's like, "Here you go, bro." And he was just shit hammered,
Shit hammered the whole
beyond belief.
Oh, he'd drink a case sitting at his table.
Yeah, and he would snatch up every girl that sat next to him. Mm-hmm. That's why he's not booked for shows anymore.
Well, that and his abuse of Gunnar Hansen, which I wanted to punch him in his fucking muscle-bound head one year about that shit. He was sitting right next to Gunnar Hansen. And I remember him yelling that he was the best Leatherface. I'm the number one. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Who did it first?
Yeah,
And Gunnar was such, Gunnar got salty when the remake came out anyway, because I had talked to him, I think almost that year that it came out. And this was years later, and I was like, dude, if he's not going to hit you, I am. What the fuck? And it was awful. So that's one of those guests I never wanted to meet again, and luckily he got banned.
Yeah, he got banned. And that's what's crazy. If you get banned from
So I
horror
don't feel
conventions,
bad about talking about him, because fuck that, man.
No, fuck him. Khan's booked some of the biggest pieces of shit out there. If you get banned from that, like you have to be like next level, top shelf fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Maybe he can go to that Fox News con that you were talking about earlier.
Hell, the PlayCon.
You get a fucking table next to Tucker Carlson or some
Hey,
shit.
CNN and Fox were both there. That was that's fun for the whole family.
Well, I guess we're gonna wrap this up here soon. Let's talk about like what's either your favorite or your least favorite guest. I'll go with my funnies because I've always talked about like my favorites and maybe my least favorite. But there was one talking about Daniel Harris. I'm drunk as fuck at a goddamn convention. I can't remember if either one of you were with me, but we're sitting there talking. It's just me and someone else and her at her table, and I used to carry my drinks around in this huge friggin' Speedway cup. And we're laughing, and the fucking cup literally does a 180 and lands straight on her table. But somehow the drink stayed in the fucking
This is like a science experiment.
I don't know that between the straw and the gravity. I have no idea. Inertia. I don't give a fuck. It stayed there. I looked at her. She looked at me. I was like, I am so fucking sorry. Scooped that off there, and I just walked away. I think that was one of the first conventions I'd ever seen her at.
Was that in Louisville?
I'm not gonna. I don't remember. It's the one with the gray walls, man. I cannot remember.
I think that was. I think that was Fright Night.
Jesus Christ! And it landed on top of all of her pictures, and and back at that time she had them all stacked up, so it was like 10 per stack. So if I would have ruined that shit,
that is not cool.
But we just kind of looked at each other, and the laughing stopped. There was no more stories, no more jokes. I got that. I'm so sorry, and just walked the fuck away.
I'm gonna go hide somewhere.
That's my story. Brian, what do you got?
As far as best,
Just whatever.
I mean, there's one that's almost like life changing for me.
Oh shit!
It was because I think it was one of the first people I talked to. It was even pre-show. I think later. I don't even know if I aired this. I went back recently. In fact, like this is how far back it was. I have it on a cassette tape. I had my cassette recorder with me to tape this interview.
Like a talk boy.
The talk, yeah.
It looked kind of.
genre.
It didn't have the cool microphone pop out. It was just a regular little Walkman looking deal. But yeah, that's how far back it was. So it was right. It was still when I was doing the like print stuff. So it was before the audio, but I was there just kind of to talk to him. Tura Satana was amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
Fucking A.
She was so cool and like just sort of.
Not everyone knows who that is, by the way. I know
it's well, again, super geeks, but she and that's why I think it's not like she was like the biggest A-list star in the world. She's the lead in Faster Pussycat Kill Kill. She's in Astro Zombies. She's got a handful of other roles. She was like maybe in one like legit movie. She's got like a bit part in one of the like big studio movies, but for the most part, she just made a handful of B movies. Is kind of known for having impressive cleavage, but
It's a good thing to be
and
known
being a
for.
badass.
yeah. But then as time went on, like I didn't know much else about her, and then sat down with
Besides
her and
boobs?
like and that's the thing. Nobody's as good a sport about that as her. Like I'm assuming everybody got this treatment, but by the time we were done, when we took the photo is your head goes into her bosom. Like that's your photo. So not gonna complain about that either. But and again, because she initiated it, I'm not the creepy one. So I just was there and take advantage of these things. But fringe benefits. But the conversation was so cool, and I think it was one of the first times it became a normal kind of. It was still pretty. Fan based of, this is really cool. What about this? But it kind of hit a normal level where she started talking about regular stuff. And then like we learned a little more about like her upbringing and the weird stuff that led her to being, who she was as time went on. And like, she was just so cool. And even more so as she got older, because this was, in the last decade or so of her life. So it's like, she was still so damn cool and was like, so like on top of everything and kind of knew like at one point she brought up politics, which I don't mess with, but like even then like she was like engaged in what was going on around her. Like she's just such a super strong smart chick and like was so cool to talk to. So that I think had that not happened, I don't know if I would have like jumped in and started doing that regularly, because that was maybe the first like big recognizable, at least for movie geeks, like name. And like it went so well that it kind of was like, okay, I think I want to do this. So like later there were ones that I'm like, that wasn't so great. But that one, luckily, as early as it was just really, really awesome.
You get hit with that like positive experience. That's like, oh, I can do this. If everybody's gonna be like that, then you learn.
Yeah,
that's still really cool though. It's a good start.
Yeah, she was awesome.
I think mine would be meeting Angus Scrim. Because it wasn't just like, oh, you're a tall man. We talked about like, I was like, oh, you used to scare the shit out of me when I was a kid. And my dad would always call me boy just to fuck with me. So meeting him was a weird experience there was nobody else in his line. And he's just like, hey, just come back here. Do you want to just hang out? And so we just sat there and we talked for 30 minutes. I can't even remember exactly what we talked about, but we talked about, Phantasm for like maybe like 5 minutes, and then the rest of it was just whatever. He asked me how I've been doing. What am I doing? What do I do? What am I doing with my life? And just
that was like a weird fucking experience.
It was almost like words of encouragement, and like I've met other celebrities that have done similar things, but like it was just like hanging out with your uncle or something like that, just relaxing. And then eventually somebody came up for an autograph, and he signed it. He's talking to them, and I was like, all right, I think I want to go. And he's like, all right, you take care of yourself. It was just weird, but it was so nice, and it was a relaxing moment to be like, he doesn't want to kill me after all.
Boy.
Yeah, we had a minor run in at one of the conventions. That was one that Misty fell in love with him. He became her new grandpa, and there's just a photo of her sitting in his lap almost, and he was just so super nice and again, for the man who's known for killing people, he was just doom. He was just the cuddliest grandpa kind of guy, and it was
killing people with his balls.
Cool.
Total grandpa. I was at I guess the last year of conventions he did. February he did Days of the Dead Atlanta. And it was so funny because it was not a big line, like 3 people. But I'm that dude that if you're at a lot of conventions, I won't bother meeting you most of the time because I'll talk to you in passing, but I won't get your autograph.
Yeah, you regret that though.
I know. Well, yeah, but I got most of them before they were gone. Besides a few Friday 13th people, of course. But anyway, with Angus, I sat down. I guess he heard my conversation. He goes, "You do a lot of these, don't you?" Yeah, he goes, well, I'm going to hit a bunch of them this year. And he puts his arm around me. He goes, take a look at this. And he pulls out this little old man notepad with all these conventions written on it.
I have one of those.
And he's like, what do you think of this one? And he's going down the list.
That's awesome.
And I'm trying to be positive because it's this little old man asking me stuff. But he's reading my face. I made a face on one of them.
You can't lie. He'll tell.
He read my face on one of them, and he goes, don't be scared to tell the truth.
He's like, your poker face are going to work on me, boy.
And I was just straight up don't do that show. And what was awesome for me is he didn't do that show, and he did the other ones. I'm like, I feel like Angus listened to me.
Holy shit.
I had an impact on his life.
Which was cool. Or maybe he just fucking forgot everything I said, and his manager told him what to do anyway. And his manager knew it was a shitty show. But dude, it's way too hard for me to pick out. As I've been to where there's a vendor doing the film shit or whatever. Yeah. I mean, there was a time where I was going to 20 or fucking 30 of these a year. I will say this all around though. There's 2 that come to mind. Adam Green, every time I've met him, was treating me like a friend. At Nashville Full Moon Nashville was kind of one of their slower cons a couple years ago that year. He was in the room right next to me and bullshitted with me 3 days fucking straight. It was cool as hell. That show where he met Dave Brocky, him and Joe Lynch set up the fucking bar for me and my buddy. No reason for him to do that. Knew we were fucking fanboys. I had him hold the poster for the movie I was releasing. So I'd be like, Adam Green's holding this. Kind of like all these bullshit taglines that are on these movies.
Yeah.
I was trying to do the Stephen King thing. But he was always really fucking cool, and he would give you any advice you asked for, and never treated you like you were just a burden on him, even if you lingered a little too long. Because sometimes if I'm in a conversation with somebody, I'm like, I need to fucking go. I'll cut out mid-conversation and be like, all right, bye. I feel weird now.
That's considerate, though.
Yeah.
I think it helps if they start out that same way. Yeah. He was a fanboy at one time.
Yeah.
It's he graduated up to being that.
Oh, yeah. Listen
in the
to his
club,
stories about making the first hatchet. They're like, oh, my God.
Yeah. He was just really cool and just really down to earth. And I've seen him be that way with fucking everybody and the people that work with him. That's probably why they all come back to his films. And then there's Derek Mears, who I'm not really a fan of the dude's work. Honestly, I'm not a diehard Friday the 13th remake fan or whatever. That's the sweetest fucking guy alive. He could probably kill everyone I know, but that's the nicest fucking dude I've ever met in my life. I feel like maybe he is secretly a serial killer because nobody should be that nice. That dude.
That's how he keeps his cool.
You'll never see that dude not smile. I think even when he's
I was
angry,
going to say that. His fucking smile lights up a weird. It's it's all the big goth kids in the back go, oh.
Always always just a ton of positivity, man. He brings this energy to him. If I'm at a con, I'm having a bad day, I'll just walk by Derek Mears' table. I'm like, oh, I feel better now. That fucking just raise.
Glow. You warm your shit with his aura.
Yeah. I mean, even if you're not a fan, meet Derek Mears. Say hi to that fucking dude. That dude is great. He's one of the most positive fucking humans. Yeah, I know, and he's just not from anything that I'm like, oh, that's my fucking guy.
Predators, and then he did the Hills Have Eyes remake.
He's in Twin Peaks. That was my one thing where he showed up as Twin Peaks as kind of like a badass, which is funny once you see him and you see him play a badass. Because he could, like you said, he's kickbox and all that shit. He could kick some people's asses, but he's so fucking happy. It's adorable how nice that dude is. Compared to this whole slew of when you're in a sea of black and everybody's oh, fucking metal and horror, decapitations, titties. Seeing that dude makes you happy.
That's fucking awesome, man. That's a great note to leave on in this podcast on is positivity. I'm glad we went there too, because I was kind of hoping we were not going to end it on fuck and fuck all this and everybody fucks and
Fuck Friday night. Fuck Linda Blair.
Right? I was kind of worried about
Gary
that.
Busey's a creep. Oh,
Gary Busey. We already told our Gary Busey story. I have so many great stories. We all do. And that's the thing is you have not been to a horror convention. Hopefully the positive stories that we've shared today are going to be like, okay, cool. Because sometimes meeting your hero sucks.
it does.
It fucking sucks sometimes.
Don't put anybody on a pedestal. Really.
I can't
they're
help it,
just
though.
people. Well, that's the
Yeah.
thing. They're just people. That's the only thing I've taken from this over the years is like the ones that I've connected with is because they were cool people, and like
Yeah.
it just this happened to be their job, and we were talking about their job, and and other people are kind of dicks,
Yeah.
and like you learn that the hard way. But it's like I don't go in with that anymore. Like with anybody, like I try not to put anybody at that level where I'm like, you're so much better than me because it's never going to end well. It's like, there's no good way to approach that. And
For the longest time, I would only meet people after the show is over. Those are the people I want to hang out with. Like you were talking about Norman Reedus. That's how we met him. Like they came to a hotel party we were having. Him and Rocco, we played Pictionary together. I'm not kidding. Like that kind of shit. Or like Lance Hendricks, I met him at a bar and he bought me a drink. I'm like, dude, it's supposed to be the other way around. What the fuck is going on?
I met Lance Hendrickson while I was drunk in Chicago. Remember, I walked up to him and like, did anybody ever tell you look like Lance Hendrickson?
Yes, that's a true story.
And I got this drunk picture of my arm around him holding this fucking cup full of, bad things. But he was really cool too. He just sat there and talked to me on this bench outside because he thought it was funny that I didn't know who the fuck he was. And I was so wasted that I was just like, you look just like Lance Hendrickson.
Right. That's my favorite time to meet people is after party, hanging out. They're just not even if they're having drinks, just hanging out with their fans in a corner on a sofa. That's the shit. Like it's not the first time I met Michael Rooker. He was hanging out by the pool party and he's being like, fucking hey, let's do this. I was like, that's the kind of fucking shit I want to hang out with.
That dude hula hooped his ass off at that
He
one
was
show.
that's the
He
one.
was a badass.
That was so great.
Michael Worker is crazy.
That was like 2010
the
or
best
something.
kind of crazy.
Yeah. I'll leave it at this. If you're a horror fan, sci-fi fan, go to a fucking convention, come for the community, and then the celebs are just an extra benefit. I've met some of my best friends at these conventions.
Like family.
The vendors are really cool. A lot of the vendors are like fucking family to me too. You can buy cool shit that you can't get at these other stores. You'll realize that Hot Topic and your fucking Hobby Lobby Halloween section fucking sucks once you start shopping at these things.
We didn't even get to the vendors, but God, I wish we had. But there's so many good ones.
There's so many
And it's
vendors we can list
We call them our
off,
con
and,
family.
We'll keep linking them on like the Gore Club like Facebook page. You'll see us promote some vendors that we love. But go for that. Go for the community and the fucking vendors. You can get in for like most of these shows for $30 to $50 for a fucking weekend. You get to hang out with a lot of like-minded people and talk about horror movies. You can watch some movies for fucking free all weekend. There's tons of panels that you don't have to pay for. And there's vendors with shit that's not overpriced, to be honest. There's some are dickheads, but most of them fair price shit. So go for that. And then if you decide you want to meet a fucking celeb and roll the dice, do that too. But check out all the other shit first. That's all I got. So fuck the celebrities.
Dave, you got anything?
No, I think
Let's just wrap it up then, guys.
pretty much wrapped it up.
I want to thank
Positivity.
I want to thank Bryan Renfro for coming on. Please, how can they find you?
MovieMeltdown.com. That's kind of got everything on there. We've got our Meltdown Horror Club too. So if, you can go get on there and see what we've got. We've got a lot of stuff. We're kind of giving fans the chance to pick movies that we're gonna watch and discuss. So we've got that going on, but that'll just link to the feed and all the other stuff we've got going on. So MovieMeltdown.com.
Thanks, man. Thanks for coming on here.
No problem.
And,
Thanks for having me.
If you're listening to this, of course, you can find us on YouTube, Anchor, Apple, Google, Breaker, TuneIn, Spotify, all these things, Overcast, they're all there. We want to thank all of our fans in Paraguay and Brazil who've been hooking up for the last couple of weeks. It's pretty awesome. And thank you all so much, man. We're out of here.
Peace.
See you. Sweet. Yeah. That was fun.
We didn't talk about that.